Check my mic. All right, let's do this. Bitcoin on the month. Welcome to March. March is a good month. It's a very good month. I like March. Not because of Bitcoin, but I do like March. So on the month, we, I keep saying this, we have three red candles going down. We now have two green candles, which could be the beginning of a turnaround. I have this wee little line here on the month at basically 46K. And that lines up basically with the top of our last red. We have not gone up above that, so we have not beaten the last red downward candle, if that makes sense. However, we look at our RSI on the month and we appear to have an opportunity to turn around. Let's quickly see what our MACD is telling us. No visible change on the MACD on a monthly. So let's drop down to a week and we'll see what we see on the week. We have our third red one. Well, green one, but you know what? You get old and you start saying the wrong things. I hope that you guys can figure out what I'm saying if I'm mixing up my words. But looks like I drew this line too soon. On the weekly, that line is not valid. That was supposed to indicate our downward trend, and when we crossed over it, then it was time to start looking for the bottom. But, lulz. We are only as young as we feel. Let me just put it that way. But yeah. We got a big one candle, and this is engulfing on the week. Our MACD is looking like it's turning around. Guys, I don't know what to say. We're going to drop down to the day, and while it's dirty on the TD sequential, we have a 6. So this is my line at about 46K, and we are getting really close to this. We also have, wait a minute, is that, oh shit, that's my line too. Okay, so we still have not quite beaten this resistance that I'm seeing right here, which we are right at. MACD, I don't know. I like the RSI definitely at the lower time frames. So let me see. Stochastic, RSI. So we could be running out of steam. Now, this is not that bad though, because if you can't get in on this 1 and the 2, which on BTC, to be honest with you, I missed this, right? I'm sorry. I completely missed this jump. I have no idea where it came from. I suspect, oops. I suspect what has happened is, well, I know a couple things. I know that like a record amount of BTC has been purchased and given to the Ukrainian army. Like some individual went to a exchange and they bought a lot of BTC, and the rumor is that they bought it in rubles. So someone was dumping their Russian money, right, and buying a lot of BTC, and they gave it to the Ukrainian army. Now I'm not sure if that could just be a rumor. But it does make me think, does this war change everything? And that, for me, that worries me. Because if we're in a bear market, that's something that I can count on, right? But this could This could hamstring the bear market and turn it back into a bull market. And the reason is because people that are trying to get their families out of the Ukraine um, are having a hard time getting their hands on cash, but they have been able to get access to their as soon as they as soon as they get a phone signal in Poland, apparently they have access to their crypto. So there's some of that going on, and some people actually, like me, have debit cards that we can send crypto to, turn into any currency we need, and then purchase goods. And that is really helping the people that were able to do that in the Ukraine. And you would be surprised how many people in the Ukraine are up on BTC, but the people that have been able to do that in the Ukraine have fared very well compared to the other refugees coming out of there. It's just sad and tragic, but I don't know what to think whatsoever. And this is not my line at the bottom. So, and I think I've said before that it is possible for us to be developing a very long channel, and this could be our bottom could very well be somewhere in here. It could very well be somewhere around 33, and the war changes everything. Everybody's looking at cryptocurrency very differently since Canada. I've done that like ever since the war. I can't pronounce Canada, but I'll just keep calling it Canada. Um, but ever since Canada decided that they were going to try and it's if you haven't heard it, you must be under a rock. But yeah, they went to a wallet company and they said, "Hey, we want you to freeze all these wallets." And the wallet company like replied with, "Uh, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works." And those people, they didn't lose access to their funds. Let me put it that way. So, the government's shitting bricks. The SEC is trying to propose new rules in order to try and crack down on DeFi. It's a backdoor to crack down on DeFi. There's plenty of YouTubers that are talking about that. But I don't know what to say here. I did not expect this at all. I expected it to go down. I'm in complete shock. Let's look at ETH before I say anything, before I think about anything. So ETH on the day is just about to start trading above. So we're not going to be doing any trading on ETH in here. Let's look at it on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we're above. And and it looks like we're going to cross here. So even when we go a little bit sideways, and we're already there, I don't know. I don't know. 4 hours. Draw my own damn trend line. What does that look like? That's 5%. What's this looking like on BNB? See, we have a trend line there, or we have a line there already, and that's another 4%. I would have really liked to have been, and BNB on the 4 hour was giving a signal right here. 83 is, it's an awful lot to miss out on. That's 7% right now. But if you had gotten real lucky and you had said, you know what, we're trading above right here, you'd be at 12%, and that would have been nice. And that blows my 8.6% of ETH on my last trade out of the water. I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on B&B. What was I seeing here? Yeah, I'm seeing this 1 and 2 on B&B, so I could very well jump in to B&B. So BTC 52K is what you're seeing, huh? Let me back out. Let me get rid of this nonsense right here. 52K. So yeah, yeah, that's possible. That would be the next, once we break this mark right here, that would be the next one that I would be looking for right there. So yeah, that's what I mean is I'm looking at BNB right now on the 4 hour, right? And we're developing a 2 right now on the 4 hour. Well, I'm in cash, and at some point you have to start going in, right? And taking those, you can't win every trade, but right now this is not looking too bad of a risk. So let's say I wanted to go with another long stop loss, and in this case, I'm going to set my stop limit at 5%. And if I want to get my first target would be a 7% increase. That's going to be somewhere around here on the matching BTC scale. So that could be a 20%. So if we did something very similar here, it's going to be much lower on BTC, but that's a 16%. So yeah, yeah, I could see that. I could see us going to 52. Like I said, I was looking at it going down, but every time there's a leap in utility in anything crypto, we see a good sharp increase, right? I mean, once people realized DeFi was available, DeFi went crazy. Um, Now that people realize that they can send cryptocurrency directly to someone in the Ukraine, directly to the organization of their choice in most cases, um, this is all going to skyrocket. So it ought to be interesting. I would be careful. I will probably do one trade, and I'll do that trade on BNB, and I'll probably do it here. I don't know if I'm going to go with this huge. I'll probably go with a 3.5% instead. That'll bring me up to my um, 200. Yeah, yeah. And I wasn't paying attention is the problem. I wish I was, because I was actually paying attention to Ukraine. I've got a couple buddies, they're these military guys, and they've got like a war room set up on on Discord where they're like collecting intel from every source they can. Yeah, being the other thing is cake. Cake is so low right now. I almost want to just buy it and put it away. It's been doing bad compared to where my last buy was. My last buy was somewhere in here, but I set that off to be auto compounding. I've got some prediction wins that I will probably buy like, I don't know, 10 cake with or something, and put that in there too. Um, Crow is, I don't know. This should be interesting because Crow is throwing a buy also. Crow is I think people that have a crypto.com card are more likely to actually use the card and get value out of it. So we'll have to see. Everything I buy with it, I keep the Crow, um, in hopes of getting free Netflix someday. So yeah, B&B is not looking too bad. Let's take a quick look here. Oh, oil. Oil to USD. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is outstanding. That is like a 10% in the last 2 days, 13% in like the last 2 days. Why did I not buy oil as soon as Trump lost the election? I have no idea. But man, oh man, look at oil. Anyways, oil's the big winner. No surprise there. Rune. Ooh, FTM is throwing a buy signal. I bet a lot of things are going to be throwing a buy signal. A lot of things that I like are going to be throwing a buy signal. Matic threw a buy signal a while ago. I've got a bunch of Matic auto compounding right now too. So I'm very happy about that. Look at Matic though. This is worrying me too. Matic, I when I bought Matic, this was like one of my stops. I was going to sell out all my Matic, but it went up so much and I was able to sell it and buy more that I decided to hold on to it and auto compound it. I haven't looked at that auto compounding in a while, but Matic itself, that could be the bottom for Matic. I mean, if you want to be really optimistic. Um, let's see. Let's see if there's fill. No. Comp. No. Where's my RSI? Why is that not on here? More indicators. Something's wrong. Oh, wait a minute. Is this that RSI? More indicators. Where is the RSI open at? Well, okay, let's reload. There's my RSI. Okay, I don't know where that went or what I did wrong, but I must have done something wrong. Comp engine. I think I've got some of that laying around somewhere too. Tron. Yeah. Hmm. I don't believe in double bottoms, but double bottoms sometimes happen. Mana. I've got some mana laying around. Look at this. Ohm die. You know, if this is the turnaround, this Ohm was at I was thinking about buying in at like 435. It went up to like $1,200 and now it's down to 41. I'm gonna have to do some investigation into that because that seemed like a pretty solid project. And one was another one that seemed like a pretty solid project. Where is that? So even if I bought into a couple of these and they went to half the price and I left this in it for 4 years and they were still around, you would be crazy. Oh, Solana, yeah, I put a whole bunch of Solana to the side. Let's take a look here. Let's go all the way out. On the week, which we have 4 days left, I would still like to see a week trading above on the week before I go into anything on Solana. On the day, on the day I'd like to see this trading above this, and I'd probably wait for a 2 on the TD sequential, if that makes sense. So that was a failed trade. So let's see. So how I have this organized is BTC. I look at BTC, I look at BNB, and I look at ETH. My first investments, my first dipping my toe back in is always going to be ETH or BNB first. One of these two. Cake, I have Cake and I'm interested in auto compounding. I'd like to see that project exist and flourish. The rest of these, so layer ones, I have a couple layer ones that I have just put aside, Vet and Sol. I'm not actively trading with those. And I have some Dot too, and those are Dot is layer two. Um, ADA I'm completely out of, and right now I could not, on the day and the 4 hour would be my guess, I could not say, well, shit. Everything's going to be throwing this one too. So I wouldn't go all in. I wouldn't do your whole portfolio yet. I'm definitely waiting. I'm probably going to buy some BNB like 3 hours on this. I'm probably going to buy it sooner than later. Probably going to buy sooner than later. And this will be my first. So I have a big chunk that I swap in and out of BNB, and I'll swap that chunk into BNB. And if that's going up, then I'll start looking at ETH and I'll start looking at other things. But this right here is looking, it could be promising. And even if it's not, even if we don't turn around into a bull market, I think you're right, and I do think, and we gotta really zoom out to see it, but I do think that that 52 is possible. Whether or not we're going to break that, I'm not so sure. So we still need to break 45.9 before I would say we start going, say 30%, 40% of portfolio in. And then we've got to break the 47, 49, and then if we get to 52, it's either gonna hit hard and go down, because let's remember that's like 17% from where we are right now. So yeah, yeah, I would not be too optimistic, but I would get ready, and yeah, I'm liking BNB, and I'm liking ETH. But like I said, ETH I'm only liking for a minimum of 5%. But if we do our calculations here and we do something low like a 3.6% right there, we pull that down to 1.5 and we're right there. We're right there. So we could sell right there, get 5% and walk away. The 0.8% would pay for fees, I would think. Or we could let it run, right? So that's what I'm looking at right now. Yep, 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 yep. And hopefully the RSI on the day, especially for BNB, hopefully this is enough to turn this around. But on the day, it doesn't look that good. We've got that resistance. We're still here at this resistance, and we're still here at this resistance. So even though on the 4 hour, well, gee, that's a good buy signal right there on the 1 hour. That's a good buy signal too. And that's a decent buy signal there on the 1 hour too. So we could see another 9 on the 1 hour, and that would be 1, 2, 3 more hours away. What happened here on our RSI was we went sideways on the hour. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this war and conflict is a game changer for Bitcoin, because now people are seeing much more utility in it than ever before. And as far as being unconfiscatable, as far as being able to be sent to the people that need it, you know, Yeah, all that might be washing out the regulations. And people dumping the ruble for Bitcoin makes perfect sense, especially with the ruble losing like 20 to 30% of its value because of because of the war. It's a war. We have a war. And it's not the United States. For once, it's not the United States. So, fuck. All right. That's all I have to say about Bitcoin. I'm going to go play some Rust. Uh, have a good evening. Have a great day at work tomorrow. Watch this carefully. I have not been watching it. I'm going to start. So, 3 hours. What's the 2 hour? I've been meaning to use the 2 hour more. 2 hour looks great, especially on the buy signal. So, BTC on the 2 hour is looking good. So, shucks. I missed 12%, but all right. Have a good one. At least I'm not holding anything from all the way up here, I guess. I got to count my stars, right? All right.